Welcome back to Comics Experiment at its new home right here at Absolutely. This is the show where I get together with Dan and Andy, and it's an experiment if we're going to do the show, what we're going to talk about, and what is even happening.
Or if the card works.
Or if the recording device works.
Yes.
We had gold. We had the greatest episode you have never seen filmed.
So the improv, we were on point.
It was
And
so
then there
good.
was a card error.
Yeah.
Dan screwed it
No,
up.
I don't think it's a card error. I think it's a Dan error.
Yeah, that's what I assume he kicked it with his foot.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah.
Yay, being the editor. I can remove that. The power.
I won't watch it. So you can do whatever you want, honestly.
Anyway, this is the show where we get
hitting
together.
the table.
Yeah,
Sorry.
actually big time. You bump a lot.
You need a straw.
Oh, that'd be the way to drink my drink. Anyway, today's episode is going to be your questions about Batman. So I went on Twitter and I asked you, the audience, what questions do you have for Batman? Silly, funny, serious, whatever you got. We're going to
Messed
try.
up.
Yeah, there's some messed up ones in here.
Yeah,
I
I
screened a
imagine.
few by Andy. We're going to ask them.
Okay.
You had an answer. You did.
Oh, that's right. I did have an answer. Yeah.
Dan doesn't know them. It's going to be hilarious. Anyway, today's episode is brought to you by one of our long-running, long-standing sponsors, Honey, where you can save an amazing amount of money using them on your Chrome extension. We'll tell you more about that in the middle of today's episode. I don't want to toss it to Dan like usual. He might also mess that up.
Oh. But you can go to joinhoney.com/experiment to get it for free. Pause. I'm double checking. Now I'm scared myself.
No, that you better not cut this. You better leave that in there. Just you panicking.
Pause.
One thing goes
Sheer
wrong.
panic on your face, though.
You better leave that in. Andy, don't give him a clean cut. We gotta.
I would never. I never do anything clean.
So since we lost one question from Robert Guzman, we're gonna re-ask it now. It won't be anywhere near as funny. That was just comedy.
I will just give a straight answer this time.
But the question was, in case we have to use this version, how has Bruce not developed a sleeping disorder that will mess him up further?
To which I said he's got batsomnia because he does.
Which is when you can't sleep and you beat up. You dress like a bat and go out and beat up
exactly.
people. See, it's the same thing.
It's a very common sleep disorder.
I actually do that here in our very rural area. I put on a bat outfit to go through my
and beat up sheep.
There's no sheep here.
Yeah, maybe if you go past my house, there's sheep.
Oh yeah,
There's like big sheep farms.
Really?
Yeah, there's.
I was
big
like, I have
sheep
horses.
farms.
I was gonna say I punch horses, but
They'd kick back. I wouldn't do that. Yeah,
that's a
big
danger.
animal.
does a sheep not kick back?
It headbutts you.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah.
Um,
What were we saying?
something about Batman sleeping habits.
Oh, and then I made the point. We'll just in a very unfunny way recap. And then I made the point that sometimes in the comics he does show exhaustion.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Hilarious. All right.
And I am convinced he has trained himself to get rest when he is knocked unconscious.
Right.
And then we all
he's
laughed a
getting
little.
rest.
And then I made the point that he is in peak physical condition, which is comics' way of saying they can do whatever the hell they want.
And then somebody made a
Hilarious.
point about maybe he just charges up like a battery, and I said I sleep similarly 4 to 5 hours a night, and then I go to 10. What?
He said,
It's a battery.
Stop with your alliteration.
It's not really an alliteration. I don't think you know what that word means. All
might
right, let's
not.
move on. Now that we've recapped in such a hilarious manner.
We do remember that comic though, where like Harley Quinn's taking a battery out of the
Yes,
thing. He's like,
yeah.
"It's a battery," and
Yeah,
she's
I
like,
do.
"Are you kidding me right now?"
I do remember that. Yeah. All right, so now that we've hilariously recapped.
Oh, no, we also have to, okay.
Now we got
and
Tony Danza. I believe.
I was like, and our second person was Tony. I can't pronounce your last name. Andy, can you pronounce that?
I'm not going to, and then I said, I'm not going to do that. I'll just butcher it.
And then I said, Dan, how do you pronounce Tony's last name?
Tony Danza.
I think, honestly, we should do all the episodes like this. We do it first one time, and then we actually film us recapping it.
It's just,
Sort of like a watch party. kind of.
so what is it? Is it Comic Story in the Comics Experiment, the complete story?
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
You okay?
That'd be a really funny way to
Well,
do
it's
it.
just
Like
funny
we film
because-
it, and in the same clothes, we then react
and
to
I
it.
can try and see if the footage saved. But it's small.
Yeah,
in
there
the
you go. Yeah. I think that'd be a funny way to do it.
Oh, we're dumb. Anyway,
You're so dumb.
he wants to know if they had changed Thomas Wayne from being a doctor to a lawyer,
Oh, yes.
what that could do to the mythos.
Yes, it would kill a lot more because the a big thing with Bruce and saving people was, or at least I remember a couple stories. One where basically a mob boss comes to their house.
I think it's Falcone.
Is it Falcone?
I think it's Falcone.
Yeah, isn't he the one
And
that normally
Thomas-
manipulates them?
I think so, yeah.
Thomas saves him and is basically like, when you're saving someone, it doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah.
We save. As a doctor, I save them. And
Yeah.
so I feel like that really imprinted on Bruce, and that's why he tries to not kill people. But I think if his dad was a lawyer and he didn't have that doctor connection, I think he would be much closer to the original Batman, where he killed if he needed to.
I also depends on how rich a lawyer. Like, if he's still super rich,
Yeah.
I guess maybe it wouldn't change. He probably would be maybe a bit more violent, but if he was like maybe a lower end lawyer, maybe it'd be more like Daredevil.
I was actually
He'd
just
have
thinking
like
that too. Yeah.
I can
more
see
of
that.
like on the ground kind of thing. Even though Batman generally is on the ground, but less like
Yeah.
super expensive stuff.
I feel like the mythos changing just because of what we have done with Harvey Dent. I feel like that's what they would kind of do with Thomas.
I can
They
see
would kind of
that,
make
yeah.
his father turns out to be evil. Didn't they do a similar plot line when they tried to elaborate, like his mother was a part of this and his father was a part of this? And I think it kind of got deleted at some point in the retcons.
I don't know, but I would love a what if Thomas Wayne was Two-Face.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
That's what I was
Two-Face is his dad.
All of his villains are family members.
Ooh. Okay, so if we were to
like
take that
it.
mythos,
You're the villain.
Thomas Wayne.
Bat family.
Oh, I thought you said I was the villain. I was like, what did I
See,
do?
I was gonna
Well,
I was gonna go to his mother Martha being Catwoman or Talia, but that's a whole lot of other implications.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably says more about you, I think, than Batman.
what female villains does he have that he also hasn't slept with?
Well, we just gotta make it so that he doesn't sleep with him. You don't have to sleep with him.
Also, that's the
Batman. That's
reason-
what he does.
Ben's giving me the script. Why is he sleeping? What? Why? Well, man, that's in the normal. Man, I was like, I had to add it. I don't know.
So now to think about it, I think that's the reason why most Batman villains are men.
I'm actually thinking about this.
Sleeping
Hold
with
on.
everybody.
Does he have a female villain that he hasn't slept
No.
with?
He's never slept with Poison Ivy.
Well,
She's tried though. She's got the hots for him.
That's the she uses the pheromones to make him do stuff. They don't-
Okay.
Yeah.
She's doesn't,
I mean, they've
she's
not
not
shown
like,
it.
And I
she's
guess
like,
Harley
and now
Quinn
we're
as
gonna
well.
go bang.
I guess Harley Quinn as well. then.
yeah. She's banged Nightwing though.
that's
that animated-
You know, I saw a
Yeah.
fan art version of that, and it was a lot more. Anyway,
because he was on a different website.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait, I downloaded the wrong Batman movie, or did I?
no, definitely did. Definitely did.
I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Either I did download the wrong one, or Bruce Timm made this one.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Which I think he did.
All right, next up we got Zapp Manning asking, "What are your favorite things kept in Batman's utility belt?"
I thought you said
Anti-bat
Captain Batman.
Shark bat
Shark repellent.
bat shark repellent.
Mine's lollipops.
That
That
is a
apparently
good one,
he's-
too.
really
That
good
was a
one,
solid
yeah.
one.
That he keeps too close to the smoke bombs, and it confuses them sometimes.
I like in the Batman and Robin movie when he pulls out the bat credit card
Yeah.
because you never know when you're gonna need to charge
that's
something.
always good. That's always good. I still like the Battery.
The
That he
battery.
has.
But okay, you already said that, so we need a new one.
I know, but it's a different question. I can use the same answer
Answer on
twice.
multiple questions.
That's what DC does with their comic stories.
More than
Bat-
twice.
Batman has just lost the city of Gotham. What are we ever going to do? Well, let's look at
Again.
what he did the last 8 times.
They actually have a
That was like-
billboard that says number of days since Gotham was
Realistic,
lost.
that was like the
Reset.
same. Gotham got overran like 4 times in the span of like 3 years.
And
It
then
was
people
Joker
still
War.
Go, Batman's the best.
It was Bane,
superhero.
City of Bane.
City of Bane, Joker War, Scarecrow,
Yep.
Fear State,
Yep.
and now Failsafe.
And now fails it.
4 times in a row.
Well, yeah, no, it did take over. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
No, Failsafe has Gotham.
That's
right
what I'm
now.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did take over. I was going to argue that.
I
was
do
just trying to
like-
kill him.
And
but
if
yeah.
we count the future, there's also Neo Gotham, where Gotham becomes alive.
Yep.
I do like the fact, because I'm loving Chip Zdarsky's run right now, but
It's fantastic.
he did lose the city of Gotham to Failsafe. And then we cut to the Tim Drake and John Kent storyline.
Really quick though, technically also in what was the future one we just had?
Neo Gotham?
No, where the Peacekeepers took over.
Well, that was technically Fear State.
Was that
They
technically?
made it
Oh,
Fear
that's
State.
right. You're right. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
Fear State Gotham.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Future State.
Future State.
It was
Thank you.
Future State,
I was
but
like,
they-
it's Future State.
They spun it into being Fear State with the magistrate.
But technically, in Future State, in that alternate possible future, it was also taken.
Well, I think in
Yeah,
that one it
without
was
Scarecrow.
Yeah,
I think in that one it was he never actually solved it like he did in Fear State.
Well, no, yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm
No,
saying
I think
is,
that one was the writers weren't on the same page.
That's
and
probably
they-
more accurate.
but I am kind of curious because if you've been following Chip Zdarsky's Batman, the backup is Tim Drake trying to find Batman.
Right.
Yes.
But apparently, like he has not acknowledged that failsafe has the city.
He doesn't care. Well, I mean, if you think about it, he's doing the smart thing. He's not going to be able to defeat
That is true.
failsafe if Batman
That's true.
couldn't. So you got to go get Batman back so that the two of you can fail to beat failsafe.
It's a really good story right now.
It
And
really is,
technically,
actually. It
the
really is.
alternate universe he went to, he also lost the city by not being born. So
Hey,
No, he was born.
Judge Dent, what they do? They killed him.
They kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he still lost
he had to
Gotham.
dig up his own body.
And then
now
Alfred
in-
is good.
in the future where Booster Gold is in the gift, he's lost Gotham because he's not Batman.
On a side note, just because I just saw the cover for this, I was wondering, because we're getting Batman and Robin, a part of the Dawn of DC reboot. We're getting Batman and Robin #1. They are rebooting Batman. They haven't said when, but the cover's been released.
Okay.
And it's more Chips at Arsk. It's just a story continuing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we are getting a
reboot.
It's not
when
really
he
a
comes
reboot
back.
then.
Yeah, they're just
It's
doing
that.
it.
It's that where they're like, we're rebooting it. It's the same.
I've been having so many arguments with fans about this right now because I'm calling Dawn of DC a reboot, and they're like, "It's not a reboot." I'm like, "It's a DC reboot. We've never had a reboot since the New 52, but every crisis, every event
Is a reboot.
it's a soft reboot."
Yeah. They're really big on soft reboots.
Yeah.
Because then you can kind of pick and choose what you want to.
Because
That's
then
why
can
they
go,
do them,
Oh
yeah.
no, that got canceled and doesn't matter anymore.
Half the New 52 line.
I mean, that's what Rebirth did.
Remember all of this? They were great.
Dr. Manhattan was a soft reboot, and I've wiped out all the problems.
Don't look at all
moved
this
the
stuff.
lantern.
I moved the lantern 3 inches.
I moved
That is
Martha's
the,
pearls.
that is the
She
funniest thing because they
didn't
talk
take
about the New 52 and how it like revitalized DC Comics and the sales were really great, but they don't talk about in the first year they canceled like half the line.
Yeah, it was all new stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
All right, on Quill's paint-colored hand, did he really lose a fist fight
Oh,
against
that's the name of the person tweeting. I thought it was a writer, and I was like, I don't know that author's name. Who's Quill?
Why does he have a paint-colored hand?
Okay, sorry.
Does Batman lose a fist fight against the Question in the annual #1, or did he let him have it? I don't remember him fighting the Question. That seems odd.
If
The
I
Christian
remember,
I know there's an image where the
right-
Christian punches him in the face.
Yeah.
Which Question? Vic or
I'm pretty
Renee?
sure it was Vic.
Okay.
I think it was an older comic.
Okay.
I think it's one where like they fight, and in the fight, he's like, yeah, he thinks Batman might have caused what the Question is looking into, and then after a fight between them, they're like, no, he's good, because if I remember, Question thinks like Bruce Wayne did something.
Oh, I think I
Batman
remember
shows
that. Yeah.
up and is like, no, and
Looking
then
for
they
it?
get in a
Yeah, I'm trying to
fight,
find it.
and
Well, while Andy looks for
I
that.
didn't remember him losing.
Maybe
but
I'm
thought it was more of a
misremembering because
tie.
I'm not finding it, and you would think that would be a big image.
Yeah.
Warren Peace the Angel asks who all the instructors are and what they taught him. We can't give you that answer other than Ducard. That's all we got.
Ducard was.
You know them all?
I don't remember the names,
Roz.
but they have done. So recently in Batman Incorporated, Ghostmaker, we learned that Ghostmaker and Bruce learned under the same teachers, and the first arc in Batman Inc.
They're all dying.
It's first or second, yeah. They are getting hunted down.
Yeah.
So there was like
Ducard's one of them.
an assassin
he's
in
alive still,
Japan, I think.
yeah.
Ducard.
Roz is one.
Roz is one. I don't think he's actually referenced in Batman Inc.
Technically,
There's
depending
one
on
that's
the
like a locksmith.
depending on the
woman.
continuity, one of it used to be Houdini, but that was like old.
I mean, I love it. I love that.
That's a great
that
idea.
is perfect.
That's old. That wouldn't work in current continuity. And at one point, it was also Zaytara. Taught him how to like escape.
Oh, because that's his link to Zatanna.
Yeah.
Because Zatanna.
Depending on the continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know the names off the top of my head, but I do know in that story they do go to at least 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. The problem with his instructors is it's kind of a rolling history.
Yeah, so it just kind of depends on.
I think
It's
right
more
now.
there are certain ones they always bring back, but
But I'm pretty sure Roz isn't one of the ones right now. Actually.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Roz is. But I think it's kind of like the Houdini thing. I think at first they gave them actual people,
And now
then
it
they were
kind
like,
of depends on
oh,
who they need to bring in for
they're
the story.
too old now,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's make it
or they would have
realistic.
been dead when
Exactly.
Bruce was a boy.
Do you think from Savard, Dan, go for it. Is it Tony Danza again?
A lot of tweets from Tony Danza.
Sverld.
Tony Danza. Anyway, do you think Batman books overall work better isolated in Gotham as a part of the Bat family, or him interacting with the larger DC universe and Justice League?
I think it depends on the story.
I was gonna say I'll take point on
Yeah.
that. I almost feel like there's 2 Batmans.
Yeah.
There's world level, works with the Justice League Batman storylines, and then there's detective, grounded Batman stories.
I would say there are 3 Batman stories. There's the Batman with the Justice League. There's Batman when he does travel across the world and conveniently doesn't run into any other superheroes.
That is true.
And then there's Batman and Gotham.
or knows a sort of Batman-like character in that city.
Because basically Justice League, Batman Inc., and Gotham.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good way to look
But
at it.
and that's the problem with Batman. Not a problem, but I think it's kind of one of his strengths because the character's so big and sprawling. You kind of do have 3 separate Batmans, and you can do different stories, and that's why there are so many multiversal stories of Batman.
Yeah.
I
Why
say
don't we get
even
a 3 Batman story. If there was actually 3 Batman
Turns out there
and they
actually
were
is 3 Batman.
clones.
That's Scott Snyder's run. But if you go back to the Grant Morrison JLA run, that one Batman was the super secret weapon of the Justice League. And he was all right. But then I think it just depends on the story, on the actual story itself.
Yeah.
This one's from Ways to Save Online. What does Batman use when he's trying to save money, Dan?
He saves with honey through this portal.
Today's episode is sponsored by PayPal Honey, the easiest way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. Are you stressing when you shop online, and are you worrying that you're paying too much? Do you not have time to search for coupons? Well, thanks to Honey, you don't have to. Honey is a free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones it finds to your cart. It's super simple too. You just click apply coupons when checking out, and Honey will search for coupons and instantly apply the best working coupons that they find to your cart. I shop online a lot, and Honey has saved me easily hundreds of dollars at this point, and even just saved me another $15 on supplies for our D&D campaign. Honey doesn't just work on desktops, it works in your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight missing out, and by getting it, you're doing yourself a solid in supporting the show, which we also appreciate. I never recommend something that I don't use, so get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/experiment. That's joinhoney.com/experiment.
All right. Portal closed. Thanks, honey.
I chose to do it now. For those who are wondering, I chose to do it now because if you were watching when I set up that ad read, Dan was taking a drink at that exact moment.
Oh, that makes sense.
To see his eyes light up, but his mouth is like, ah!
He's like, honey.
I'm going to skip over this one from the Sexy Miguel only because, well, you know what? Let's see how many we can name off the top of our heads. Extended Bat Family.
Okay.
What counts as extended?
We'll go ahead and, I would say extended's like Ghostmaker and Clown Hunter levels. Like they're in there, but
So we've got, obviously, we got
this
Batman.
is not a full list. I'm just telling you
We've
right
got
now.
Tim Drake, Damian Wayne.
So you're doing the obvious ones
Jason
first.
Todd, Dick Grayson.
Who?
Rick Grayson. Rick.
Rick
Grayson.
There you go.
My favorite version.
Ghostmaker, Clown Hunter. We'll just say everyone in Batman Inc.
Name
Harley
them.
Quinn.
I want you to name
It's
them.
kind of cheating. Yeah, let's just go everybody
All right,
from
so there's
Batman.
Wolf, there's Knight, there's Batman of Japan.
No, he's out because he
There's-
didn't even change his name.
Was it El Gaucho or something?
El Guano.
Iguana.
Bat Guano.
Okay, if it's not actually
Which
El
one is the
Guano,
Lucha Libre?
That's El Gaucho.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
we're talking about. Yeah.
But then we've also got, we'll say, depending on the story, the Justice League could be included.
I wouldn't
That's
say,
a reach.
no,
I'll say Harley Quinn though is
I
part
said
of
Harley
it.
Quinn.
yeah.
I said Harley Quinn.
Oh.
I didn't hear
You know what? I'm going to go even further. Bernard,
Talia.
because he shows up with Tim on adventures.
Azrael,
Azrael, yeah.
Huntress.
Yeah.
There you go.
Clayface.
Well, depending on the if they
Talia.
decided to make him good or not.
I think he's a good guy right now.
Is he? I don't even remember.
Depending on how Talia's feeling, Talia.
Yeah.
Midnighter technically kind of wedged his way in.
Would you
Yeah,
consider
for a
all of
little
Red
while.
Hood's outlaws? So,
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Evil
because they don't
Bizarro.
really work with Batman.
That's like Bat Family once removed.
Yeah, it's like Bat Cousins.
Yeah.
Like the Titans don't count,
Okay.
even though they work with Dick Grayson.
Batmite and Nightmite.
Jim Gordon.
Jim Gordon, yes.
I would love an annual where
Barbara
Batmite
Gordon,
and
that's
Nightmite
Tompkins.
just team up.
just him. Ace the Bat Hound.
He's
Bat
Bat
Cow.
Cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cat.
Alfred.
Yeah.
I don't know how we've got
Yeah,
Alfred.
yeah,
And Alfred the Cat.
And Alfred the cat.
There's an Alfred the Cat.
I forgot that.
Davey had named the cat Alfred.
That's true.
All right.
Harper.
Harper Row, yeah. I guess in a way we could say Leslie Tompkins.
Yeah,
Stephanie.
Stephanie Brown.
I'm thinking of the Wayne Family Adventures webtoons now. Like, who else is in
Carrie?
that cast? Cassie?
Cassie Carey? Is it Carrie?
Carrie Kelly.
Carrie Kelly.
Yeah.
We don't count her. She's in the
Sandra
future.
Kane,
Yeah, and she's not always in the future.
Black Lightning, Katana,
I will
'Cause
say
the
they're
outsiders.
they're extended because they're outsiders. Yeah,
They
I'll
work
give you
with
that. Yeah, I'll
Duke
give you that.
Thomas Signal.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he existed.
Yeah,
Most people
everyone
do.
does.
I was going to make that joke, like most of you.
Yeah, most people.
All right.
It's not even readers; it's
The
writers.
Batmobile. I'm gonna count that as a family member. It's in
Batwing.
everything. Oh,
All right.
yeah, Batwing.
All right. I'm going to move on.
Lucius Fox.
The next Batman.
The next Batman
He's just the Batman.
of New York.
Yeah, no, they made a very strong like
Wait, why?
there was an actual
Did they?
conversation in the comic where they talk about that.
Hold on. If his book's been canceled, why isn't he just on Batman Inc.? You could have a whole
Has
thing
this
where
book been canceled?
yeah, it has been officially
Has
canceled.
it? Oh, okay.
But if I could just see the argument with Ghostmaker right now. Change the costume.
Honestly,
A little.
if that is the
It's
case,
same colors.
it's even the same name.
You just covered the mouth.
No, you got rid of that.
Oh.
When he went to New York, he was like,
I mean, Catwoman,
yeah, Catwoman, yeah,
you could say.
yeah. I mean, they bang all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty extended.
Yeah.
okay.
All right, next
On
up
the
on the
next
list from Ultimate Lance. By the way, if you want to be a part of this for next week's episode, make sure you follow me on Twitter at ComicStorian.
I think the next week's episode, you can cut this if you want. I don't care. Should be it shouldn't be Batman again. You should do like, what are your burning questions about Spider-Man or something?
Yeah, I was gonna do
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh,
Green
okay.
Lantern,
I thought
or
you said you were
Flash.
gonna do Batman again. I'm like, we're just gonna this.
No,
that
no,
one.
we'll
We
tackle-
just do Batman questions from now
This is
on?
the
Welcome to Batman Experiment.
Yeah.
we're gonna rename this to Fat Man on Batman. I don't think that's already taken. That's the Kevin
Which
Smith show.
no, I know.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
which my question is, are you the fat man?
Dan's the Fat Man.
He's like sickly. I'm probably middle. So that would make you the biggest one.
Welcome to
It's,
Fat
actually,
Man
it's
on
more
Batman.
like the ironic I'm the fat man because it's
Like when you call like a bald guy curly.
exactly.
No. I wasn't. We'll go to Batman like in 4 months.
Oh,
and then
okay.
yeah.
All right. I thought we were just doing Batman again. I'm like, well, that's going to get old quick.
Oh, they're asking the utility belt question again.
Again.
Oh man, what's on the other pocket?
Ultimate Lance asks, "What does Wayne Enterprises do?
Everything.
It does seem that way, yes. Like,
What does the story need it to do?"
they're at times, they're like a pharmaceutical company. At other times, they apparently do like
Electric
weapons.
cars.
Yeah, electric
Where's my
cars.
electric car, Bruce?
They're into like they're into like real estate.
Yep.
They're into like urban
You gotta
rejuvecation.
remember,
Yeah.
guys, they've got to have subsidiaries.
Yeah,
So,
so
like,
they do a lot. Yeah,
They really
There's-
do.
They probably do like the yellow fuzzy stuff on tennis balls.
I bet they got to work with like the U.S. government on like
They most likely
defense.
have, like,
That
defense
way
contracts.
They can go, oh, R&D. What's that bat tank for? Don't ask. It's top secret from the government.
He asked a follow-up question.
Oh,
Has any villain received a death penalty? I think the ones they send to Blackgate do, and then they get picked up with the Suicide Squad.
I think technically, yeah.
technically,
Because the way it works is Blackgate is if you're
Well,
a criminal,
define-
and Arkham's if you're insane.
Well, no, because
hold on, are we
Blackgate
counting
they have
they
time
died
off
or
their
death
sentence.
penalty?
Death
No,
penalty.
death
they
penalty.
receive.
Okay.
Well, technically, they don't have a death penalty because that's the whole point of the Suicide Squad, or that's the lie of the Suicide Squad, is that if you survive a certain number of missions, will set you free.
Right, but I
Yeah,
think they catch them because they're already like on death row, kind of a thing. So this is your way to get out of it, kind of a situation.
Right.
yeah,
But I don't think
death
like,
by extreme.
honestly-
There probably
punishment.
has been a
Instead of
story
the
where
chair.
somebody has
I actually don't
gotten
think there
the
has
death
because it's such a
penalty.
hot topic.
That
I
is
think it's one of
true,
those things they
yeah.
just won't touch on.
Yeah, I can only think of like times that villains have died,
Right, yeah.
like when Clayface
'Cause also
was shot with
technically-
that gun that like caused him to crumble.
Technically,
really
I
sad.
think Gotham is supposed to be set in Jersey, and I don't think they have the death penalty, so they wouldn't hypothetically be able to get the death penalty in
Okay.
that state.
Well, there you
Now, if the Joker were to say make some problems in Texas,
Oh, that's why
Which
the
he
Joker's
did.
never
Which he
into.
did.
He
Was
did
it-
recently.
go.
was
No,
it
he was in
Texas?
Joker. Yeah,
Was that
'cause
Texas?
That's where
they
the
went
rich
to?
family
That's
was
where
they
the
were trying to eat him.
Simpsons are.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were trying to eat
I couldn't
him.
remember the state. Yeah. I don't know if I'd eat the Joker.
Well, that was the whole debate, actually. Is his skin ruined by the chemicals? Will it ruin the meat?
Well, not even just the skin. I'm just talking about like he's probably tainted.
Probably very chewy.
Yeah.
James A.S. Parker II asks, and this is a very important question that I've been wondering since the movie came out. And Batman and Robin, why does Batman have nipples and not Batgirl? Andy, what is your theories on this?
Well,
It's
and
actually a
comic.
medical condition.
She has Barbieitis?
No, Barbara Gordon, or technically not Gordon, Barbara Pennyworth in that. She's like, she's related to Alfred, doesn't have a British accent. We won't get into that.
I think that's more Alicia Silverstone and less.
Doesn't. Yeah, weird how she sound like that chick from Clueless. I'm a 90s kid, sorry. Barbara Pennyworth, or whatever her name is in that movie, medically doesn't have nipples.
It's the Barbieism.
That's
She's
I
a Barbie.
thought
Yeah.
it
And
was,
Dan's a Ken.
Wait, what?
Smooth down there.
the full Ken.
I thought she had bat pasties, like little nipple pasties, so they didn't go through
But they
the
weren't.
armor.
No, but that's the thing in the movie. It's not that like Bruce's nipples go through the armor.
Oh,
They're
I know.
in the
Oh, I
armor.
know. Because it's
They're
that cold.
concaved. Now, the actual reasoning behind it, if you actually look into the legit reasoning why they did the butts and the nipple shots.
Because Joel Schumacher has a rubber fetish.
Well, that
He kept all those suits, people.
he's
I
all,
don't know if that's true. I'm just making that fact up.
he's also openly gay too. That
Oh,
was
yeah, I didn't know that.
But he actually stated why he chose to do that. He wanted the suits to be modeled after the Roman and
Oh,
Greek
I have.
statues,
Yeah, I have read that.
it makes sense.
which the
I
men
seen
have
that,
nipples,
yeah.
and they never made nipples on women's outfits.
I have seen
So,
that actually.
yeah.
So yeah,
But
I've
that's
heard that.
the
yeah.
Batman and Robin movie was actually modeled after those original statues because he wanted you to get the imposing idea like they're strong and manly. And
It's a shame at no point in that movie did he go, I really like the Romans.
Yeah,
I
nobody mentions
respect
that in the
armor,
movies. Yeah, yeah.
especially
Batman's
the
like,
nipples. I feel like that adds.
like even if Batgirl was just like, "What's up with the nipples?" Well, I actually took a lot of the cues from the
Right.
Roman armor. Oh, that makes sense, Bruce. Where's
So
my suit? Why doesn't
historical.
it have nipples? Because that would be weird.
People are going to wonder why I gave nipples to the woman's suit. Anyway, Ray Umbo has a good one, which actually might fill the last of this. But why does Batman hold up the entire comic book market the way that he does? I will add to this because when I did the research on Are Comics Dying, and I discovered that they are not, in fact, dying. They're actually booming and doing well. Even though manga is also doing well, comics are individually doing well. I know.
No,
let's get into comments.
They're not. They're not.
But-
manga is winning. The West will fall.
And we will all give up to our Japanese
and we
sex
will
robot
all, yeah,
overlords.
no, we will all be gifted Japanese sex pillows. Right? It's not so bad.
This isn't a
I
bad
mean,
future.
Follow Western civilization, free sex pillow,
Godzilla.
Godzilla. I mean, we had him for a little while too. We got like 3 or 4 movies out of it.
But
so.
the actual direct market of comic book sales are doing very well. They have been growing over the last couple of years, even though we went through COVID and stuff like that. But when I did that research over looking at the top 100 comics and their sales total, and then I counted up every Batman comic for the year of I think 2022, Batman's sales made up half of what the top 100 did. So why does Batman hold up the comic book market in the way he does? Why is he so appealing, I guess would be the question for this.
Honestly, I don't know.
I
I mean, I know why I like Batman.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's why everybody likes
So
Batman.
this is my theory behind it is the most relatable of the superheroes in the
on
sense
DC side.
and on DC's side
Yeah.
where it comes
But
to
Spider-Man doesn't do as well.
But
Just
okay, let me finish my
Yeah, I'm sorry.
thing.
No, let me
He's
cut
the
you
most
mid-
Anyway, Andy, what do you?
he's the most relatable in the sense that he truly is just a person with money. That's what he is. So people can have those mental fantasies or stuff like that where
Sure.
they can picture themselves as a rich person doing something like this, whereas it's a lot harder to relate to. Yes, I can relate to this being that came from another planet and can fly and has heat vision. Instead, it's more of like if I knew a villain was going through, I would totally learn like karate and be able to go take like it's basically
I think
totally learn karate.
it's basically like the thing behind Kick-Ass.
Yeah,
like
that's true. Yeah.
To follow up on that, I think you're right actually, because how often do we all sit around the house and go
Proud
like,
of you.
if somebody breaks into the house, I would totally go John Wick on his ass. Like we all think
Exactly.
that at one point, right?
exactly.
Do not.
I just have this image of you like, oh God, that was a terrible idea. I'm so winded.
But in all honesty, you're not wrong. Actually, I think it's why some of the biggest manga in the recent years have done the way they have, because it's very similar. Where like Demon Slayer, which is the one that has sold so many and has a misinterpreted article that states that it outsold the entire comic book industry, which it didn't. The lifetime sales of Demon Slayer outsold that 1 year of comics. But anyway, That's the idea of like you're
Really
just a
against the
poor
weeds
boy
right
in
now.
the mountains who can now slay demons.
Right.
Deco-
Call upon ancient fire magic.
We all want to do that, don't we? How often do you buy lightsabers? Come on.
There's nothing to do with ancient
Actually,
fire
well,
magic.
No, it's just
To be fair,
ancient
though-
space wizards.
I hate to say it.
wildly
I
different.
hate to say it. The lightsabers is a good comparison because of the fact that it's a person,
Yeah.
but with this weapon. The
Yeah.
weapon is the fantasy, but you
Yeah.
can relate to being the person. And I feel like that's similar with Batman because Aquaman, he's underwater.
Well,
like,
and
you
that's what I'm
can't
saying.
relate to
Fly.
it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
yeah.
that's also why
We all feel
Green
like
Arrow does decently well because he became the Batman for people to relate to if they had a sense of humor. Like,
I mean, I think you're right because basically, the more relatable you make a character, the bigger they are, the bigger deal they are. Spider-Man's great because it's what if we all got powers. Demon Slayer's great because what if we could all slay demons. My Hero Academia does well because if you got powers and went to X-Men, basically, you know, and people love the X-Men for the exact same reason. What if you were Jubilee and could make fireworks and you were suddenly a Valley Girl?
I've said this before in the past. I'll never be Superman. I'm not rich enough to be Batman, but I could be Punisher.
you got the equipment.
I think people like Batman the most because that's like the perfect dream. I'm so rich that I can put on a
I
rubber
could-
suit.
and beat the crap out of mentally
And I don't have to work.
psychotic people.
That's what I mean. I think that's like the perfect dream.
Hey.
Because like you're like, I don't want to be Peter Parker. He's got clones. Mary Jane's breaking
Yeah,
up with him
it
every other week.
goes rough for Peter. Yeah, is the problem.
You know, every manga's like, I would not want to live in that world.
Plus, when I got bit by a spider, they just had to drain the pus out of my arm. It had nothing. I didn't get any powers. That's a real story.
All right, let me see if we got any other good ones down here before we reach the end of today's episode. Andy
Yes, sir.
has Shuto would like to know if Batman ever shit himself.
I mean, most likely. You got to assume when Ben
think when
broke
he-
his back.
That one I'm going, and I'm thinking
Yeah,
when
like he
the
probably
Cordial was
lost all
drugged him.
control. Ugh, yeah, but he's like, I'll break you. Ugh.
What, I'm thinking when the Cordial was drugged him too.
Yeah,
kind of woke
Cordiales,
up a little soiled.
Oh, he definitely pooped in that labyrinth. I would have.
I mean, because let's be honest, there are multiple times in which Batman is contained in some location for an amount of time that it is
He's definitely
humanly
pooping.
impossible to not defecate.
No, I would have done it in the Court of the Owls labyrinth, just as kind of an FU.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just say,
You're like, I can't get out. Fine.
Batman
Somebody's got to
probably
clean that up.
has some sort of device to
Like a
do-
filtration system.
Exactly, because I mean that suit's got to be hard to take off. You do not want
Yeah,
to
they
have to
never
go to the
really
bathroom and be like,
specify how he does it in the comics.
That reminds me
It's a
of
flap.
a movie when Andy and I were kids, and I don't remember the name of it, but I remember it was about an alien warsuit lands. And this
Star
kid,
Kid. Star Kid.
and he goes, I gotta pee, and it like, comes out
It
of the
comes
neck.
out of the neck, and he's like, "What?" And then he ends up going to like his teacher or something, and she uses like a crowbar to get like the crotch plate off, and he goes running into the bathroom, and then you just hear him peeing and going, "Ah." I'm pretty sure it was called Star Kid. I could
The
be
fact
wrong.
that Andy knew that
the
immediately.
speed
I saw
in
that
which
in
he
the
knew it.
theaters.
Yeah.
Now I gotta look that up.
All right, last question is I'm going to take because I have a quick answer to this one. You guys don't have to jump in. Sexy Miguel wants to know if Batman has a contingency plan for himself. It's the current book written by Chip
Yeah,
Zdarsky
sure,
known
yeah.
as Failsafe, issues 125 of Batman to 130. We'll tell you what happens with that. Or you can watch the video on Comic Story, our sister channel. Ooh.
Also nice. Also, I'm pretty sure that is awesome.
1997.
Oh my
Well, I don't
gosh.
know if they're gonna see it. It's just on my phone. 1997. Star Kid.
Technically, isn't Ansaba Noor? Is that the name? Isn't that
That was
based-
technically his.
that was
like,
his other failsafe.
other fail-safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
if he was mentally
an old-
compromised. or
Depending on
something.
the continuity in the current one, it's like an. I guess technically an
Mental
alternate.
safe break.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a mental
because
identity.
failsafe was a failsafe for the failsafe.
For the failsafe.
And then Abu Zabanur is a failsafe in case the failsafe didn't work and he needed a failsafe against himself.
Batman's prepared.
Or if you go off the Justice League Unlimited, it's the Justice League.
Yeah, that too.
But we proved that to be wrong.
Well, no, that's the argument. I think it was technically Justice League Doom. When he has all of the different
Well, but
plans
that's
to take
the
down
plot
the
of
Justice League.
failsafe, though. That
Well,
was
yeah.
a lie.
Yeah, well, yeah. But that was at the time. There was because Superman's like, well, you didn't come up with a thing to stop you, and he's like, I did. It's called the Justice League.
Yeah.
you guys.
'Cause
Just
yeah,
work
granted-
together. He's like, but hold on.
But I can't actually beat all of you.
Just at least 4 of you at a time. Otherwise, I can't take care of you. So just a warning.
You
Don't
gotta
do
come
one
at
a
me at
time.
once.
Yeah, don't do one at a time.
Also, unfortunately, I can't tell you what to prepare from me because then when you go wrong, it's a whole thing.
like,
But
anyway, good luck. Wanders out.
And he like flicks kryptonite at
Yeah.
Clark.
Sucker.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's Return to Comics experiment. The plan is to get back on schedule. I'm not going to say what that schedule is, so I don't jinx it.
The schedule is at least once
the
a year.
Schedule. Just
We're gonna-
say we're trying.
We're trying.
We're doing our best.
Dan keeps canceling. We're blaming him.
Well, I mean, you were sick for like 8 weeks in a row.
I mean, I was sick for
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's a while. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this episode. Check out our sponsor, Honey.
where you can go to joinhoney.com/experiment to get honey for free and save money when you shop online.
And if you like it over here at Absolutely, let us know in the comments, because basically by it being a part of our podcast channel, we can actually get kind of pseudo-regular with it again, which is what the plan is. On the podcast, oh my God, I gotta ask the audience.
Thanks for watching.
We're doing our best.
Which isn't very good.
follow Twitter @ComicStorian so you can help us for questions for the next episode.